Hey everybody, so I'm doing a little update video, and I got a comment on my old snorkel video, how I did the snorkel, um, and he was asking me how I didn't get water in the oil, or something to that effect. To make it clear, I was actually getting water in my oil. That was quite a big issue with me. I just kept getting water in the oil, so I hope those things fixed it, and I hope I never get any more water in my oil unless I sink it. Hopefully not even then. The things that the reason this thing's been away for so long is because it had a rear end problem. When you put it in gear, first gear or any gear, it would just clunk. And the reason for that was the axle in here, and the I got it over here, and the bulb, whatever this thing is, used to lawnmowers, bevel gear or whatever you want to call it. I forgot the name of it, but I replaced both these issues because the spines in them, I don't know if you guys can really see that, but they're not that good, and especially on this axle. I can get you to focus. But yeah, so they seem fine when you slip them together right now, but they're not. So that's why this thing's been gone a long time. So I just rebuilt the diff. I put in all new bearings and seals in the differential, and as well as the axle. Bearings on each end and new bushing, new seals. Except I could not get to the input gear. I get on the camera, can't remember what I'm talking about, but I do know what I'm talking about. So I couldn't replace the input gears or the input bearings because I did not have the special tool to get them out. So there they are. I might have to revisit that with the special or correct tool. But one thing I will say is I got this seal bearing kit from All Balls Racing, and they sent me with this seal. This is the seal that they sent me with in this kit right here. So if you get a box like this and you buy it for either a Foreman 500 or a Rancher 350 from them right there, you will have this seal left over if you have a Rancher 350, or you might have a seal that goes on your input that's flat but looks kind of like this. Doesn't have this ridge right here. But this is for a Foreman 450 or Foreman 500, excuse me. You do not use this on this machine, on this diff. They have the exact same differentials. The only thing is the pinion, where the drive shaft goes into the pinion's a little different. So if you have this kit, if you bought that kit and you have the seal left over for your Rancher, don't go scrolling through parts diagrams. It doesn't go to this bike. So that's what happened to this. Got a whole new rebuild in diff and in the axle. But what I did, so I had to replace two things as well as that diff. So this boot right here. This boot was leaking. It was ripped. Here, I got it over here. This boot was ripped. I don't know. It's all greasy. It spilled everywhere onto this table. But you can see there's a hole in that. Yeah. That's what my oil looked like right there. That's milk. And that's what my oil looked like that was in there. Because water was getting in here, in this boot. And then it was getting in this whole axle tube right here. Right here, this whole tube. And then settling right by my pinion, on the pinion seal. Thankfully none of it, or at least most of it, didn't get into here, into the diff. But it all sat up here. And then my output seal right here that goes on here, which is right here. This is the old one. I believe this one was leaking. Well, okay, I know it was leaking, but it was very little. So I replaced it. And that should solve all my water and oil issues when I go through the water. And then I also replaced the shift shaft seal in there. That was a little while ago, but I did replace that one because I was getting water in my oil. So I'm hoping that's fixed now, because of that seal and that boot. But those are two important things. If that boot's ripped, you have to get that it's just like a CV. When your CV boot rips in the front, or if you have independent rear suspension in the rear, you have to replace them. That's the same thing. That's kind of like a CV boot. But other than that, oh, okay. On my starter, on my pull starter, I originally, when I snorkeled it, I did not seal that up. I didn't take that apart and stuff, but it kept getting water in it, and then the pull cord ripped at one point, right when I needed it, obviously. So I took it apart. I took everything out of it because it was making a really bad clanking noise, because the dogs in there were loose and they just rattle around and they'd catch onto the gear thingy in here. Just like that, those little dogs in there would catch onto the thing in there, and it would make real bad noise. So I took it apart, and then I took everything out of it. I put a bunch of silicone around it, siliconed it to there, and then I just took a wire nut and I pushed it in there, and I pushed a bunch of silicone in there, or RTV. So that's what I did there. Should be waterproof. Watertight. I have no idea. I could drill a hole in there, see if it was, but that's obviously not going to help me, because then it's going to be definitely getting water in there. After the video of me doing the snorkel video, still works, by the way, you know, got up to here and had to even put an extension on it, which I keep right there. You can see that extension. It just slips right on here. Makes a waterproof enough connection. But what I did was, see that, how that kind of like dips out of there? What I did was I took all my vents, mainly my differential vent, and my rear diff, and whatever the heck vent I had, carburetor vents, and I put them down in there. You might be able to see that right there. You see that little tube line. Yeah, so what I did was I took these and I went just like this, and I slipped it into the hole, and then I pressed it down like this. So that's how that vent line is sitting in there. Now the reason I did that was if I put the snorkel under, maybe even if I didn't kill the machine, but it put the snorkel under, all the water would go into here, and then it would just pass right over those vent lines, not getting any water ever into my vent lines. At least that was the plan. Same thing with my carburetor overflow, or my carburetor vent lines. This is my gas vent line. The only one that I did not want to do that, because if I roll the bike over, it just sprays a bunch of gas through there, and I don't want a bunch of gas in my PVC snorkel, or any snorkel. So that's what I did there after that video. Not because the other system didn't work. I liked it. It looked a little bit better, I think. But that's just the way I did it. And I took my gas tank vent line and I ran it up there. If I didn't tell you guys that already, I believe I didn't, but I ran it up there. I put some loops in it though. You should be able to see those loops, which I believe I already had those loops in there. On the first one, you can actually see maybe a little bit of gas bubbling up in there. Yeah. So that's what's up with the Differential. Fires up, runs fine. Let's hear it. I did that so you can just pull it because I have no rear brake anyway. Boom, right in the reverse. So yep, that's what's up with this. Should be seeing a lot more videos with this coming up. I think I might have found a way to get 4-wheel drive on this thing, but I'm not talking about that because it's probably not gonna happen. But if it does, I can do it, I'm sure. So that's what's going on with this thing. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, hit the like button, whatever. And I don't have anything bad to say about these kits except from this area, except that they sent me a different seal, which got me really confused, but I know the reason they do it now. So yep, I'll actually be able to get some garage space in here, because this is, if you guys don't remember, this is where, oh, well, you guys don't know, this is where it was sitting the whole time for several months. But I just charged up the battery, it fired right up. Weenie boom boom. Like a Honda. So, nothing else. I just got a plasma cutter. I don't know if I've told anybody that. I've seen my welder. Like that thing. Does great pulley swaps. Just like that. I'm not very good at using it. But just cut the old pulley off. And I flipped it up there. See, that's where I cut it off. And I could put it on there. And same thing right here. So that's gonna make making pulley swaps a lot easier. You can see I'm already had it. So that pulley swap that I just showed you right there, I'm gonna go on that. We're gonna make a little mudding mower for here, since all my other ones are at Dad's. So yep, got a bunch of snorkel tubing, and yeah, that's just a little update. That thing has no spark. I'm gonna need to, I have a CDI, or not a CDI, a stator right here. I believe that one will work. I just have to get that that cover off there, right there, or that one off there, and then that should work. Yep, that's what's up. Yeah, I'll be probably taking this to the ditch, so see you later till the next one.